Imagine planning a future in the United States, a place you've dreamed of visiting, studying in, working in, or calling home, only to wake up and discover that everything has been placed on hold overnight. That is the reality facing millions of people right now. In a sudden and far-reaching decision, the U.S. State Department announced an indefinite suspension of immigrant visa processing for citizens of 75 countries, set to take effect on January 21st, 2026. This announcement has already sent shockwaves across the global travel and immigration world, leaving families separated, plans delayed, and travelers confused about what comes next. This is not just another travel advisory. This is one of the largest visa policy shifts in recent years, and it affects people on nearly every continent. To understand what this really means, we need to slow down, strip away the headlines, and look at the full picture. The suspension applies specifically to immigrant visas, the visas used by people who intend to move permanently to the United States. These include family-based green cards, employment-based permanent residency visas, and diversity visa lottery approvals. This does not mean that all travel to the U.S. has stopped. Tourists can still visit. Students can still apply to study. Business travelers can still attend meetings. Temporary workers can still apply for non-immigrant visas. But for anyone hoping to build a permanent life in America, the door has been partially closed, and no one knows when it will reopen. According to the State Department, the reason for this pause centers around something called the public charge rule. This is a long-standing immigration concept used to determine whether an applicant is likely to rely on U.S. government assistance programs after arriving in the country. In simple terms, the government is saying it wants to make sure new immigrants are financially self-sufficient. Historically, the public charge rule has been applied on an individual basis. Officers would examine a person's income, job skills, education, health, age, and family support. But this new directive expands that logic dramatically, shifting from individual assessments to a country-based suspension affecting millions of people at once. Supporters argue that this protects taxpayers and ensures economic stability. Critics argue that it unfairly paints entire populations with a broad brush, ignoring individual merit, work ethic, and opportunity. And that's where the controversy begins. So the list of affected countries is extensive and global. It includes nations from Africa, Asia, Europe, the Middle East, the Caribbean, and Latin America. Some are developing countries. Some are middle-income nations. Some have long-standing ties to the United States through migration, trade, education, and family connections. For many of these countries, the U.S. has been a primary destination for family reunification. Parents waiting to join children, spouses waiting to reunite, siblings separated by borders for years. Now those timelines are frozen. In Africa alone, nearly 20 countries are affected. In Asia and the Pacific, over a dozen. Europe and Eurasia are included. So are major countries in the Americas, including Brazil, Colombia, Jamaica, Haiti, and Guatemala. This means that millions of people who were already deep into the visa process, some waiting years, are now stuck in limbo. No approvals, no timelines, and no clarity. And while the government says existing visas will not be revoked, anyone whose immigrant visa has not yet been issued is now facing an indefinite pause. For travelers watching from the outside, this raises serious questions. If immigrant visas can be paused overnight, what happens next? Will non-immigrant visas face tighter screening? Will wait times increase? Will this spill over into tourism, study, and business travel? The short answer is very likely. Even though tourist and student visas are technically unaffected, consulates operate as a system. When one category faces increased scrutiny, pressure spreads across the entire process. Interview wait times grow. Approval rates tighten. Administrative processing becomes more common. And this couldn't come at a more critical time. The United States is preparing to host some of the largest global events in history, including the 2026 FIFA World Cup and the 2028 Olympic Games. Millions of travelers are expected to visit. Demand for visas will skyrocket. At the same time, global mobility is already strained by geopolitical tensions, economic instability, and rising travel costs. This policy adds yet another layer of uncertainty. But beyond travel logistics, the true impact of this decision is human. Imagine a nurse from Ghana who has waited 4 years to reunite with her husband in the US. Imagine an engineer from Pakistan who secured a permanent job offer and sold his home. Imagine a mother in Haiti whose children are already American citizens. For them, this isn't about politics, it's about time, it's about family, it's about life plans placed on pause. And while officials debate policy, these families wait without answers. Experts are already warning that this decision may reshape global migration patterns. Countries affected by the suspension may redirect migration flows toward Canada, Europe, Australia, or the Middle East. Employers may look elsewhere for talent. Students may choose different destinations for education, knowing permanent options in the US are uncertain. Ironically, many studies show that immigrants historically contribute more in taxes than they consume in benefits, especially over the long term. They fill labor shortages, start businesses, and fuel innovation. Critics argue that policies like this may harm the US economy more than protect it. Still, supporters insist that tighter controls are necessary to protect public resources and national interests. This tension between protection and opportunity sits at the heart of the debate. So, what should travelers and families do now? First, stay informed. Immigration policies change rapidly, and court challenges or political pressure could alter or reverse this suspension. Second, seek professional advice. Immigration lawyers can help affected individuals explore alternatives, such as temporary visas, dual citizenship options, or transfers to other countries. Third, plan conservatively. If your future depends on visa timelines, build flexibility into your plans, assume delays, prepare backups, and finally, remember that history shows immigration policies are rarely permanent. They shift with leadership, public opinion, and global realities. This moment may feel like a closed door, but doors have reopened before. What's undeniable is this. Global travel and migration to the United States has entered a new era of uncertainty. For some, that means waiting. For others, it means adapting. And for many, it means redefining what the future looks like. As this story continues to unfold, one thing remains clear. Decisions made behind closed doors can change lives across the world in an instant, and the world is watching.